Welcome to Patterson Mill High School for the 2020 All County Orchestra Concerts. I am Jeffrey Winfield, the Supervisor of Fine Arts for Harford County Public Schools. I would like to take some time to thank all who have helped to make this concert process run smoothly. The Patterson Mill High School administration, Dr. Sean Abel, principal, for the use of their school, the music department, specifically Ms. Fatima Peterson, Mrs. Amanda Benkowski, and Mr. Ronald Burke for being our amazing hosts. The custodians who have been so helpful to us throughout the entire process of sectionals and rehearsals, and especially when we were in the cafeteria. Jeremy Green, HCPS Office of Technology, who is making an audio recording for us of our concert today. The team from Harford Cable Network for producing a video tape along with live streaming on Facebook. Yes, we're live on Facebook right now. Please join me in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all of these individuals. My sincerest thanks goes to the dedicated professionals who teach these students and spend hours coaching them and supporting them through the audition process, to rehearsals, and finally the concert. Let's please give some applause to our teachers. Finally, I would like to thank all of you, all the parents, guardians, family, and friends of these talented students for supporting them in acquiring a well-rounded education. Thanks to all of you. Mrs. Bonnie Zeitler is a string specialist in the Howard County Public School System and is currently directing a program of over 230 string students at Manor Woods Elementary School. She has taught in multiple middle and elementary schools in Howard County since moving to Maryland in 2003. She is delighted to co-direct the Howard County Middle School Gifted and Talented Orchestra. She has an impressive bio, which I encourage you to read in our program. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Bonnie Zeitler and the 2020 All County Middle School Orchestra.
Enjoyed our first piece that was called the C String. I just wanted to say first how excited I am to be here. I grew up in Harford County. I went to Homestead Wakefield Elementary School and Boston Middle and Boston High School. So this is very much a homecoming. My mom still lives out here, and so I'm so happy to be with you all and be with your wonderful children. I did want to let you know there are a couple changes to our program order. So first we will be playing March of the Meister Singers, which is a very stately march from an opera by Wagner. It's supposed to depict the poets and artists marching into a grand hall. Secondly, we will move on to Baila Conmigo, which means dance with me. It's an Argentinian tango. And we're very fortunate to be joined by one of the percussionists from our high school orchestra. But I just wanted to let you know the order you'll be hearing them in. And we really hope you enjoy this performance. next piece we'll be playing is the Korean folk song variants, which is taking the beloved Ararong melody and playing it many different ways throughout the orchestra. You'll hear every section play it, and just a beautiful arrangement. And then after that, we'll be performing Forever Joyful, which is written by a local, he's internationally famous, but a local composer who actually grew up in the Baltimore area, who actually sent these students a little video message this morning telling them the reason he wrote this piece was his family had just gotten their first puppy, and watching his two boys just be overwhelmed with joy playing out in the yard with this little, I think he said 3-pound puppy. So he really wanted to capture just what that kind of exuberance was like. So we hope that you enjoy both of those pieces. we perform our last piece, which I'm assuming will not need an introduction because you probably spotted it in the program already. Any Star Wars fans out there? Okay. Me too. Oh, good. We should talk afterwards. I just want to say thank you to some very special people. I would first like to thank Jeffrey Winfield so much for inviting me to be here. What a treat to be kind of in my own hometown, but he's just been so wonderful and so welcoming, and so I'd like to give him a round of applause. These teachers who work with your children, they have been wonderful this entire weekend. And the cool thing to see behind the scenes is how much the kids love them when they see each other, how they interact. So I just think you are so fortunate to have the teachers that you have, and I'd like to give them a round of applause. And if you're backstage, peek out here so we can see you. I want to take a moment just to say thank you to Harford County's Superintendent and Board of Education. How wonderful to support music and the fine arts the way that you have that, being able to support having programs like this. And the encouragement I would love to give you is to maybe send an email saying thank you, because I think they get a lot of emails when things are rough and when we're not happy. But how wonderful for them to hear from you to say thank you for what you're doing. We so enjoyed being able to see our children do this. So just a little personal note, I think, I think that would go a long way. So I just want to say thank you to Harford County, and hopefully you can join me in thanking them. On behalf of all the kids on the stage, I know I'm not a kid, but my mom is in the audience, so I feel like a kid. I just want to say thank you to all of the parents. Thank you for driving us to places and getting our instruments. None of us would be on this stage without you. And I know oftentimes at my own concerts, parents say, you know, I really am so excited about what my child is doing. What's the best thing I can do to help them? And I'm going to tell you, the best thing you can do to support their growth in music is to provide private lessons for them. If you have a teacher nearby, or ask their classroom teacher, they can give you a recommendation. But it is absolutely the very best thing that you could give them. But I'd like, on behalf of all of the children who are here, can we all thank our parents? And last but not least, I cannot say enough about these wonderful young musicians. I've had the best time with them. They have been fun and respectful and hardworking, never complaining. If they ever tell you they can't practice 30 minutes in a row, they're lying to you. They have worked so hard and been so just a dream. I have the privilege of working with a lot of different groups like this, and it has been absolutely just the best. So I am so proud of you, boys and girls. I'm so proud of you. You've done a wonderful job, and I'd like to just give them one more round of applause before Star Wars.
Welcome back to the second half of our All County Orchestra concerts. We are very proud of the Harford County Public School music program and our very talented student musicians. Unfortunately, though, there are some students in our county who have been unable to participate in our program due to financial need. This is where Band Together is trying to help. Band Together is a 501c3 public charity made up of Harford County Public Schools music teachers, both active and retired, as well as interested community members, who volunteer their time and efforts toward one goal: to provide music instruments to HCPS students in need. During the 2019 to 20 school year, Band Together is providing instruments to nearly 400 students in 51 of our 54 high schools. Our schools, period. Isn't that amazing? "400 students. That's almost the size of a Havre de Grace High School. I don't mean that as a slam or anything, but it's almost the size of that school. So that's amazing. Their main goal is to help students whose parents cannot afford to rent or buy an instrument. Band Together takes donated musical instruments, which are refurbished and loaned to Harford County Public Schools students. Monetary donations are also accepted, being used to pay for professional repairs as needed, as well as purchasing some brand new instruments for them as well. We hope you'll take a moment to drop by the Band Together table, which is set up in the lobby, and consider helping out with a donation. No gift is too small to make a difference in the life of a child. All donations to Band Together are tax deductible. We thank you for your support. We have students on the stage who have attained the honor of being in the 2020 Maryland All-State Orchestras. Please hold your applause until I've announced all students. Students, when I call your name, please stand, and then please remain standing until your names have all been read. April Kwan, Jason Caff. Congratulations and thanks for being our representatives at the state level. Mr. Tom Mitchell teaches orchestra and chorus and also gives private cello lessons. He is principal cellist with the Frederick Symphony Orchestra and has composed several pieces for string orchestra and for his family quartet. I didn't know he had a family quartet. Did you guys know that? Mr. Mitchell earned a Bachelor of Music degree in Education from Indiana University and a Master of Arts degree from Asbury Theological Seminary. He has an impressive bio, which I encourage you to read in our program. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Tom Mitchell and the 2020 All County High School Orchestra.
Before we begin, I'd like to say just a couple of words. First of all, we do have a program change as well. If you look in your program, the middle two pieces that we're performing, the variations on a shaker melody and the pavane, are being switched. So we'll be doing those in that order, the variations first and then the pavane. Secondly, I would like to say what an honor and a privilege it's been to come here and work with these young musicians. These students are the best of the best, and they've shown themselves to be just that this week. They play tremendously well with a lot of passion and a lot of enthusiasm, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy this concert. I'm looking forward to having them share their music with you. At this point, I will say very little. The kids will be taking over as far as emceeing the rest of our portion of the concert, and we'll continue now with Noel coming up to introduce the Procession of the Nobles.
Hello, my name is Noelle Thorpe and I'm from Aberdeen High School. Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov was a Russian composer who lived from 1844 to 1908. Some of his most famous works are Scheherazade and Capriccio Espagnol. He was a part of a group of composers who called themselves the Five and were dedicated to developing a purely Russian style of composition. This piece, Procession of the Nobles, was written in 1889 as a part of the opera ballet Mlada. Even though the opera has a fantastic story which takes place 1,000 years ago in a mythical land and includes love, tragedy, murder, evil spirits, and a rising lake that covers an entire village, it never took off, and the opera has not been performed since. The Procession of the Nobles takes place at the beginning of Act 2. You can hear a grand fanfare played by the brass that announces the arrival of the nobles, which is followed by a stately processional march. Listening carefully, you can also imagine the shouts of excited townspeople as the procession approaches. We hope you enjoy.
My name is Julie Young, and I'm from Falston High School. The next piece, Variations on a Shaker Melody, was written by the American composer Aaron Copland in 1944. Aaron Copland is most well known for his music depicting the American frontier spirit, as it is heard in his pieces Hoedown and Appalachian Spring. Appalachian Spring was written as a ballet for the dancer Martha Graham and tells the story of a farming couple creating a life together. Copland wrote this piece based on an old song sung in the early 1800s by the religious community called Shakers. The tune today is known as the song Simple Gifts and also Lord of the Dance. Our performance today features solos by many of our wind and brass players. Hope you enjoy.
High School. The Pavane in F sharp minor, Opus 50, is a piece by the French composer Gabriel Fauré, written in 1887. It is written in the musical style called Impressionism, which creates a beautiful, dreamy sound. Originally written as a piano piece, it is better known today as Frau's version of an orchestra and optional chorus. The Pavane is a slow and processional dance common in Europe during the 16th century that ebbs and flows from a series of harmonic and melodic climaxes. Interestingly, Frau himself described the music as elegant but not otherwise important. The beautiful haunting melody is first heard by the solo flute, followed by the clarinet, oboe, and bassoon, before it passes to the strings. Even though we don't have a chorus singing with us today, we thought you might like to hear some of the unusual lyrics Frau put into his music.
Hello, my name is Liliana Norkaitis, and I am from Falston High School. So since this is a French song, I'll be reading the French lyrics to you. C'est Lindor, c'est Tirsi, et si tu no vainqueur. C'est Myrti, et si lady, c'est rien de nos corps. Comme ils sont provocants, comme ils sont fiers toujours. Comme on notre règne sur nos sœurs et nos jours. Faites attention, observez la mesure, où la mortelle longueur, la cadence est moins lente. Et la chute plus sûre, la rabattront bien leur kéké. Nous serons bientôt leur laquais. Qu'ils sont l'ail cheminois, qu'ils sont forts et roquets. Il sait toujours de même et c'est ainsi toujours. On s'adore, on souhaite, on maudit ses amours. Adieu Myrti, Aiglé, Chloé, les démons moqueurs. Adieu donc et bonjour, nous tirons de nos cœurs. Et bonjour.
Before we go on to our final piece tonight, I'd like to just give a great big thank you to many people. Mrs. Zeitler said this already. Mr. Winfield has already expressed some thanks, but I do want to say thank you to Mr. Winfield, the staff here at Patterson Mill High School, and all of the teachers who have worked all week with these kids and prepared them ahead of time for the music. I came in and just was welcomed warmly, and they're willing to help and do anything that they could to provide for you and to keep the kids organized and to move them from place to place. It's been a delight to work with them. I'd like you to look inside the front cover of your program because all of those teachers are listed there. And if you have a moment to send a note of thanks to them for all that they have done, that would be greatly appreciated. And I just want to give a big public thank you to them right now. So thank you for all the This has been a truly wonderful experience making music with these kids. Normally, I'm not able to work with such advanced students, and these folks have made music just really fun this week, and you'll see in our last piece how much fun they have with that piece of music. What they have been able to create here is an amazing piece of teamwork that has come together to form something absolutely beautiful. And being a part of a music organization does that for students. It teaches them how to listen. It teaches them how to work together. It teaches them how to cooperate with each other. It teaches them all sorts of teamwork that we see in other organizations in our lives, and this just prepares them more and more for adulthood and for all of the work they'll be doing in their lives. And I want to encourage them to continue in music, but I also want to thank you and encourage you to keep promoting the music classes here in Harford County and to give these kids the opportunity to grow as much as they do in their music groups. So thank you very much for that. Let's just encourage them with a big round of applause for all they've done. Okay, and for our last piece, Andrew is coming forward to introduce that.
Hello, my name is Andrew Bowick, and I'm from Aberdeen High School. Award-winning composer Lenny Niehaus was born in 1929 and has spent his career as a jazz writer and performer, as well as a composer for various movies and films. He is most noted for movies produced by Clint Eastwood, such as Pale Rider, Unforgiven, The Bridges of Madison County, and Gran Torino. The piece Americana Rhapsody is a standalone composition written for full symphonic orchestra, and is my personal favorite of our lineup. Mr. Niehaus wrote these words as an introduction to the music. Americana Rhapsody is a vibrant musical panorama evoking images of strength and beauty. Constructed in ternary form, it opens with a strong rhythmic and percussion statement. Meter changes interspersed throughout the section enhance the energetic pace. The middle section depicts the beauty of the American landscape and the genuine warmth of its people. The long melodic phrases introduced by the strings and woodwinds offer the opportunity for players and listeners to reflect on the qualities of life most dear to them. The opening theme then returns, recapturing the initial energy and pace. The overture comes to a majestic close with each section of the orchestra coming together for the moting of the final chords.